Good morning. Welcome back. We're journeying with Jesus. Do you have your maps? Awesome. Well, we're going to find out today about Jesus when he was about 30 years old and he started his ministry, officially started his ministry in teaching and healing people. And so we know that he was brought up in Nazareth. Can you find Nazareth? Awesome. And he walked a lot. He traveled a lot. So he was over by the Sea of Galilee, and he wanted to teach to people. There are many people that were coming. And what happened was this. It says in the Bible, there were so many people that he noticed right next to him in the Sea of Galilee, there were some boats. So he got into the boat and was able to teach from the boat to the people on the shore. And that's where he met some of his first disciples. A disciple is a follower. Now, Jesus was all-powerful. He's the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Do you think he really would want friends walking around him as he's teaching and preaching? The answer is yes. Jesus knew the importance of having a friend and being a friend. And Jesus knew the importance of having disciples, followers, people that he could teach, and then that they can later on become teachers and teach others and share the good news about Jesus, share the good news about God and how much he loves us. So we'll find out in the Sea of Galilee how Jesus, he chose his first 4 disciples. They were fishermen, and I will tell you a Bible story about that. But first wanted to say, everyone should have a craft with all the disciples. So please do color them. Our friends Zoe and Austin colored their disciples, and I love all the colors that they used. And then you can turn it around and you can even make your own friendship row of friends. So there's me in the middle. I drew my husband, Mark. That's Mrs. Richards. So how about this? Who are the important people around you, your friends, your family, that help you, that you learn from, and maybe that you also share information with and just enjoy life with? So you can draw all your friends here too. But let's hear more about Jesus choosing his first disciples. Okay, it's Bible story time. I'm reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible. It's one of my favorite Bibles, and I love the pictures too. So we're learning more about Jesus, and this is after he was baptized by John the Baptist, after he went to the wilderness and was tempted, and he showed that he trusted God, believed in God, and he had now an important mission. And as I mentioned, he was talking to a lot of people by the Sea of Galilee, and here's all the fishermen. So this is where Jesus comes in, and Jesus knew during his ministry he needed to find helpers and friends. He had a lot to do, and he would need some people to help him. So who would make good helpers, do you think? Would it be clever people, rich people, strong people, important people? Well, it says, I'm sure by now you don't need me to tell you that you'd be wrong, because the people that God uses, they don't have to know a lot of things or have a lot of things. They just need God a lot. Everyone could be God's helper. One day Jesus was walking by the Sea of Galilee and he was teaching, and then he talked to some of his brothers and friends who were mending their nets. Look, there they are. They had the fishing nets. They were just poor fishermen, regular people. Jesus called out to them and said, "Let's go." So Peter, Andrew, James, and John, there they all are with their fishing nets. They looked up at this man on the shore and they couldn't explain it. Their boats needed to be put away and their nets needed to be mended, and their fish were still wriggling on the shores, but something about this stranger made them just drop their nets and leave their boats and leave everything and follow Jesus. This godlike man was like no one they had ever met before. When they looked at Jesus, their hearts filled up with a wonderful, forever sort of happiness, and inside it was as if they were running free in an open field. So Jesus asked 12 men to be his helpers: Peter, Andrew, James, John, Matthew, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, another James, Simon, Thaddeus, and Judas. Wait, do we name them all? I wonder. Meeting Jesus would change all of them forever. So Jesus, his travels begin with his friends, his disciples. And you know what? You are also his friend and you are his disciple when we follow Jesus. So I wish there was one more spot that we could put ourselves here. But just so you know, Jesus always has room for more friends, and he wants you to have room for friends as well. So I'll talk to you next time. I'm looking forward to seeing your friends that you've lined up next to you, and we'll learn more about Jesus and his travels.